Good morning and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. With me, your host, Owen, guys, your team every single day, bringing you daily news, daily updates, all the things you want to know from Glasgow Rangers. Well, I bet there are a few people waking up with a few sore heads this morning in Glasgow, especially on the blue side, after a fantastic victory for Rangers over Celtic yesterday, a 3-0 victory, which I think it's fair to say sent the other half of Glasgow into a bit of a meltdown, didn't it? Given by all the abusive comments and all the ridiculous comments that have been made since that result. They love to get their excuses in, don't they? And we've had all the excuses we've had there. We played our reserves. Well, we'll win the treble still. Well done for winning the Doesn't Matter Cup. Well done for winning the 3 Points Cup, etc., etc. It's quite sad, isn't it? Especially if you consider. I think had they been successful yesterday, I don't think we would have heard the end of it either. Given it that you can't win all firm games, etc., etc. So it's just another example of, I think, a bit of sort of classless behaviour from Celtic again, and their fans. I think it really does show that they are very much obsessed with Rangers, to such an extent. I think the fact that they're just absolutely obsessed with our great club, aren't they? Well, let's talk a little bit about, obviously, all the news that has been swirling around after that result, the fallout from that result yesterday. Obviously, a great result. Michael Beale very positive after the game about the 3-0 victory over Celtic yesterday at Ibrox. Obviously, man of the match yesterday, I think it's without a shadow of doubt has to be Todd Cantwell. He was absolutely superb yesterday again, wasn't he? He absolutely ran the game, and some of the moments, some of the passes, some of the quality of his play was just different class. Now, I think obviously the worry about that is that give it 2-3 seasons maybe at this level, I think we're going to struggle to hang on to Cantwell. But I suppose that's the thing, if you're running this trading model, if you're running this model where you bring in players, you develop them, then you then sell them on. That's always going to happen. But Cantwell, I think, is certainly someone who will have to probably end up moving on from Rangers because bids are going to come in. I think in excess of 20-25 million pound for the boy. He really is different class. He was absolutely superb yesterday, wasn't he? A brilliant performance. But there was other great performance. I thought all the team played very well yesterday. I thought Lundstrom did well. I thought Jack did well. I thought that John Souttar was very, very good yesterday. Really did show us, I think that in John Souttar we have a very high quality central defender for the future. Even Fashion had a decent game yesterday, although I did have to admit, like I said on my video yesterday, when he went round Joe Hart, I did think he was probably going to put it in the side netting, typical Fashion. But, fair play to the boy, he scored the goal. Also, guys, if you haven't yet checked it out, check out my good friend and the co-host of the show, Victoria Searle, live from Orlando yesterday. She sent a couple of videos from Orlando. There's a short on the channel, and there's a video as well where I introduce her, where she's talking about Orlando Rangers Club and obviously her reaction to the game, her reaction to the 3-0 victory as well is on that short. So go and check that out, guys. It is well worth checking out, and shows you how worldwide Rangers are. Well, the fact that we are a worldwide team, we are a massive, huge club that is loved worldwide. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, you'll always find Rangers fans to play people that love the boys in royal blue. Well, it appears that Alan Mcgregor obviously is pretty much guaranteed now will be leaving the club at the end of the season. This is pretty much confirmed by Michael Beale. Bill was asked about Robbie Mccrorie and whether or not he was in Michael Beale's plans for the future. In his comments that he made, Beale said that yes, 100% Robbie was in his plans. He said, especially as we have one goalkeeper who will be out of contract and leaving in the summer, pretty much I think guaranteeing that Alan McGregor is on his way out of the club. That there was stories swirling, wasn't there, as regards McGregor and as regards a possible 1-year extension to his deal, but it now looks obviously as if that is absolute rubbish and he will not be staying beyond this season. McGregor obviously seems to have lost his place in the team, and that's fair enough. I think we need to see in Robbie what we've got. I thought that Robbie was absolutely outstanding again yesterday. Just you look at Robbie Mccrorie yesterday, and he does all the things that you want a modern goalkeeper to do. The fact that he comes for crosses. I remember as a kid, I used to play in goal, and I've been coached and been told anything between my line and the penalty spot is my ball. I go and get that ball, and I don't care who's in front of me. I don't care if it's my player, if it's an opposition player. You clear them out, you go and get it. And that's what Mccrorie does. McGregor, I think, pretty much has stopped doing that. He stopped coming off his line. He stopped coming for crosses, which, it sows an uncertainty in your defences, doesn't it? That if you haven't got the confidence that your keeper's going to be there for you, that he's going to clear it out for you, it does create that set of uncertainty, and I don't think that has helped at all this season. The other thing as well is, if you look at it yesterday, when Kyogo did come on for Celtic, the whole way that Kyogo flourishes as a player is to run in behind defenders. That's how he plays. He plays on the shoulder of the last defender, and he tries to run in behind. Now, if you looked yesterday, there was a couple of opportunities where he did have that opportunity to run in behind, but what was the difference between that and perhaps other Old Firm games was that Mccrorie was reading the game. He came off his line, he came out of his area, and he cleared the ball away, playing that old sweeper keeper routine that you need from a modern goalkeeper. You look at the top teams in the EPL, the likes of obviously Edison at Manchester City, for example. He very, very much plays that sweeper keeper role down to a fine art, and that's what you need in this modern game. Someone who can come out, use their feet, who can clear the danger when the defence fails. And you can't help but feel that Parkhead game, where Jota scored that goal from that bad back pass from Suter, Mccrorie's playing that game. I don't think that goes in. I think Mccrorie gets to it. I think he clears it. And I think the game ends as a draw or even a victory for Rangers. I really do think that would have been the case. Add to that as well, fantastic save when it was 2-0 from Matt O'Reilly. Brilliant save by Mccrorie. Again, I can't help but feel Mcgregor stays on his line there, and probably the ball ends up in the top corner, and went it's 2-1 rather than 2-0. He's great. He comes out, he closes his angles down, he makes himself big, he comes off his line, he commands his area, and I think he'll be giving the likes of Goldson, the likes of Tav, the likes of Suter confidence that that he is there behind them, and when the ball gets near the area, it's his. And Mccrorie for me has really proved himself these last couple of games. All his games, 4 games this season, 4 clean sheets. He's set an exceptionally high standard for himself, and I hope that he can continue that over the final 3 games of the season against Hibs, Hearts, and St Mirren. That he can again keep 3 more clean sheets and really show that he is the keeper we think he is. And let's face it, Robbie Mccrorie's been talked about for a long time, hasn't he? Has been the future of Rangers, the future of Rangers #1, and I think he did show yesterday that he is high quality, and he really is capable of, I think, becoming a real high quality goalkeeper, and even a future Scotland #1. He is that good. McLaughlin's got 12 months left to run on his deal. I think he'll still be here next season. I think he may be a third choice goalkeeper. I do think we still need to bring in a goalkeeper to compete with Mccrorie. But for me, Mccrorie is more than doing himself justice, isn't he? He's playing very, very well at this moment in time. He's doing a very, very good job. So all optimistic and on the goalkeeping front for the future. And well done, Robbie. Absolutely superstar. Well done yesterday. A fantastic performance, a great save. 2 good performances by Robbie now, back to back. Now, Nicholas Raskin has been talking as well after the game yesterday. Obviously, as we all know, that Rangers are in the process, I think, of working towards a major summer rebuild. Raskin obviously is going to be a fundamental part of that rebuild. He looked back to his best yesterday, and I don't think there's any sort of doubt that the fact that he was back to his best was the fact that Ryan Jack was back in the team yesterday. It does seem to me that when Jack plays, Raskin has that freedom to go and play his more natural game. Jack certainly is that man at the back who covers, he digs out, he covers for Raskin and Lundstrom. He is, he has a confidence that when you go forward, he is back there holding the fort together. And I think that obviously helped Raskin yesterday, and Lundstrom as well, who I thought had a decent game yesterday. And I've been someone in the past who has called out John Lundstrom for his performances, but I thought he had a good performance yesterday. Anyway, Nicholas Raskin has been talking about the summer rebuild, and he has said that as fans, we need to trust the process. He's talked very much about having faith in Michael Beale and his staff. They'll bring in the right players and the players they need to really move this team on and get this team into a position to compete next season and overtake that lot from across the city. And I think, Raskin's right. Michael Beale, for me, has really shown that he has got a good eye for a player. He's the man that I think he pushed through those deals in January for Cantwell and Raskin, which I think is, shows that he has got an eye for a good player. And, we've got to have faith that this summer he will bring in the right players to turn this team round and to put this team in a position to really compete next season. And obviously the primary thing is to get those players in as early as possible, get them bedded in as early as possible, ready for those Champions League qualifiers, which could be easy or could be an absolute nightmare depending on who Rangers get. There is certain scenarios out there. If you Google it, the fact that we could get Monaco or someone like that, or Ajax, but by the same token, you could end up getting someone like Sheriff or someone like that who are not quite as in the same level as an Ajax or a Monaco. But, I think Raskin's right. Trust the process. Let Beale get his players in. Let Beale build this squad for the future and build this team for the future. That is the best way forward for this club. I think given this summer, given the chance, he will bring in the players we need. And I think, if you look at yesterday's performance, you've got a team, I think, that he is capable of getting a team to a position where we can beat and overtake that lot from across the city. That is my firm belief on this matter. Final bit of news this morning, obviously, listening to a Greek transfer expert yesterday talking about Luis Palma. Luis Palma apparently is attracting attention from all over Europe since he came to Aris last season from Honduras. But it's felt that Scotland's slacker work permit laws obviously will aid any transfer for Palma. Rangers are said to be leading the way at this moment in time, but apparently are facing rivalry from the likes of Anderlecht for the services of the Honduran left winger. He certainly sounds like a player that would benefit the team, who would come in and certainly make a difference. He does sound like a very, very skillful, quality winger. Someone I think that, long term is that replacement for Ryan Kent, who will be leaving this summer as well. But it does seem that from what this guy was saying yesterday, that I was listening to Rangers Review with Derek Clark, that Palma is certainly someone that Rangers are highly interested in, and that Rangers are, as we speak at this moment in time, at time of recording, leading the way when it comes to the acquisition of Luis Palma, who does seem to be a high quality player. I mean, certainly, if you look at the names that have been linked and sort of kind of said to be firm links between Rangers and other clubs, Dujon Sterling, Jack Butland, Kieran Dowell, Luis Palma, it does seem that Michael Beale is certainly attracting quality players to come to the club and really make a difference going into next season. Well, guys, enjoy your Sundays. I'll be back obviously tomorrow with another daily news update. Please remember to hit that sub and ring that notification bell if you want to get all the latest news, views, updates from Glasgow Rangers. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back to speak to you again very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation.